Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Soukaina. Welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about how can you master your personal finance, especially if you're a beginner, because the sooner you start, the better. Before starting this video, I want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. I did take some finance classes for my business degree. It doesn't allow me to give any financial advices, so take this with a pinch of salt. This is my own experience. I'm just sharing tips that worked for me and that might help you as well. So you and only you are responsible for your financial decisions. With this disclaimer aside, let's get started. Well, first things first. So my first tip is take responsibility for your own financial decisions, which means that you are the one who should decide where your money should end up. So don't be afraid to say, I can't afford this or that. This is your money. You worked for it, so it is supposed to serve you and your goals. If going to that fancy restaurant with your friend is not on your budget, then just say so and don't go. And even if it is within your means, but you'd rather spend your money on a spa or you're saving for a trip, then don't feel guilty about it. Unfortunately, money is still a taboo for so many people, and some of us still feel uncomfortable saying that this is not on their budget or that they cannot afford this. While actually there is absolutely no reason to feel ashamed or uncomfortable. You're just being honest and prioritizing your own interests and goals. So if people shame you about this, then maybe you should reconsider your friendship with them. Second tip is have an emergency fund. As 2 years of living through a pandemic showed us that life can be very unpredictable and things can change overnight. So you never know when you might lose your job or an emergency happen, like medical bill, car repair or home repair. Ideally, you should save 3 months of necessary living expenses, so the amount varies from a person to another. It's better to anticipate the unexpected spending so you avoid that in case of an emergency. First step, find out exactly how much money you need for 3 months of living expenses. This money should cover your rent, your electricity bills, water bills, utilities and food. Second step, open a saving account. And third step, automate the transfer of the money until you reach your goal. My third tip is pay off your debt as soon as you can. It is very important that you eliminate debt as soon as you can, otherwise it will set you back financially on the long run. The longer you wait, the more money you will have to pay because of interest. So I urge you to make a plan of how you will pay this debt and stick to it. Start with higher interest rate debt and try to make it a priority. Analyze your spending and look where can you cut costs so you can use this money to pay your debt. By eliminating debt, you will be able to further boost your savings and investment. My fourth tip is direct your money where you want it to end up automatically, which means have a budget and automate payments and saving. I'm not going to ask you to budget every single penny you earn, but you should have a general idea of where your money is going. And the best way to do that is to have a general spending plan, like the 50, 20 and 30 plan. This plan states that you should spend 50% of your income on needs like rent, bills, food, etc., 30% for wants and personal purchases, and 20% for savings and financial goals. Ideally, you should use the 20% to pay off your debt, then split it between savings and investment. And so you don't have to do the math every month. I got you. I suggest that you automate all these processes. Automate the payments of your bills as well as the money transfer for savings and investment. I personally have separate accounts, one for savings, another for investment, plus my personal account for payments of bill and regular spending. By saving and investing on autopilot, you can spend your money on whatever you enjoy or you fancy that month without any feeling of guilt or anxiety. My fifth tip, and it's the last but definitely not the least, is start investing today. I say today because I cannot emphasize enough the importance of starting early. If you're leaving your money in the bank where you are losing money because of the inflation, and most savings accounts today have very low interest rate, they barely make up for inflation. So why would you want to lose money? Another point I want to clarify, and this is an idea that many people have, is that you don't need so much money to invest. You can start today with as little as 20 or 50 euros. Investing in the stock market might look a bit scary because it's risky and you might lose some money. But you better lose some money when you're 20 or 30 rather than when you're 60. Because if you're young, you still have plenty of time to recover from your losses and make some profits as well. Decades of data have shown that the stock market's average annual net return is 8% after accounting for inflation, which means means that on the long term, you can expect to make on average 8% return every year. But in the short term, this rate might fluctuate. 8% is very important and can make a huge difference in your earnings because of the power of compound interest. What does it mean? Compounding means that the interest and profits you make in a year are added to the original amount you invested. So the following year, you're going to earn interest on the new original amount. Let's take an example. So if you invested 1,000 euros and let's say the annual return is 8%, so you're going to make 80 euros in this year, so you now have 1,080 euros. So the following year, with the same annual return, you're going to make 8% of the new amount you have, which is 1,080 euros. And 8% of 1,080 euros is 86.4 euros. So now you have 1,166.4 euros. And this makes a huge difference on the long run. So the longer you leave your money in the stock market, the more your profits grow every year. And to achieve this, you need to start as young as you can, which means today, because today is the youngest you'll ever be. To illustrate how important it is to start early, here's a great example I found on the website called darwinsfinance.com. So the example is, if you invest $5,000 every year, which is $417 per month for 10 years from age 25 to 35, and then never invest again, you'd still have more money at retirement than someone who started at age 35 and invested $5,000 every year until they retire. And this is because of the power of compound interest. For me, this is insane. You can invest less and end up with more just because you started early. So start today. I'll end up this part with a great quote from the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. Getting started is more important than becoming an expert. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will make another video about investing in the stock market where I'll go more in depth about all the things you need to know before starting to invest. So if you are interested, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss this. Until then, I will leave you with some readings, books, and articles, so please check the description box. And as always, guys, question everything, do your own research, and follow your instincts. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.